Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan, and I'm here with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Zac Turkel. And today we're shining the spotlight on a service organization that's trying to bring better sight to the community.
I think the best way to introduce our guests is to roar with pride.
Yes, Zac, let's roar with excitement today as we introduce Joan Hope MacNaughton. She's the president of the Rockville Centre Lions Club, and Wendy Abrams, a member of the Rockville Centre Lions Club and regional director for Dime Community Bank. Welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. Let's start off right from the beginning. People don't know, we see the signs Lions Club, but what really is the Lions Club?
The Lions Club is a diverse group of community-minded residents. We come together to identify the needs in the Rockville Centre community, and then we figure out ways to help those needs.
Actually, that's a very good plan. We should all use that as a guideline. What's our needs? What do we have to do? Is there an age limit on members, or where do they go from? Do you get high school, college members, or?
We have a youth organization called the Leos, but predominantly all of our members are adults.
Adults. Now, I was saying to you before the show, when I think back years ago, if there was a meeting of one of the community groups, it was typically men. Is that the way it is today? Now, you're grinning at me, so don't get mad at me. I'm asking the questions. Yeah. Is that still the way it is, or is it now more women, or is it balanced?
I would say now we have more women than we do men.
We're outnumbered, Zac.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's great because women are real workers, you know, and they really get involved, especially through the schools, and they identify with all the needs of everybody in our community.
And like everything else, there's more women in the community as doctors, eye doctors, accountants, surgeons, etc. So naturally, they're members of your club.
And in Rockville Centre right now, which is a great town in Nassau County, what are the needs that you are trying to help with?
Right now, one of our main focuses is that we're building Mr. B's Playground. Mr. B's Playground is named after Mr. Tony Brunetta, the former administrator of the recreation center in Rockville Centre for years and years and years and years until he passed away. And we now are building an all-inclusive park for children with disabilities to be able to enjoy playing on a playground with their brothers and sisters and cousins and friends that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise unless we have special equipment and make the playground just right for these children.
That's a terrific project.
I like that. Yes. And for what other kinds of issues are you helping out with besides Mr. B's Playground? What else is going on?
One of the main things that we started with many years ago was through Helen Keller, where we became an organization that was able to help people with sight. And we've done this for many, many years. We do, we provide glasses for people. We recycle glasses in the community. We give them to those in need. And we do surgeries for members that need help. And we've always helped people with sight-related issues.
Wow. And what age bracket do you help mostly with? Is it youth, college age, or elderly, or can it be all three of them?
It can be all three.
Wow.
And we do. In the schools, we go into the schools. If there's a need, we will help a child be able to get glasses if they don't have the funds to do so. And if there's any kind of surgery needed, we're always able to help them.
That's a wonderful project, and I guess a lot of us don't think of that, but with everything seemingly so expensive today, you have a parent who might have 2 or 3 children, and to keep going back, of course, they're the age when the body changes, and I'm sure the eyesight. Tell us more about that with the eyeglasses, what you do, because you say you even provide surgery for the people?
We have a member of our club who is an eye doctor, and he does a yearly trip to the Dominican Republic, and he takes care of a clinic there. It's almost like Doctors Without Borders, but it's for people in need of surgeries, and they do massive surgeries at this clinic for cataract surgery, for people that have what they call cross eyes, for people that have glaucoma. This is what we do.
That's a wonderful. Now, are you the group? I always think of every once in a while I see like a barrel or something that says "Put your glasses here." Is that you? Is that the?
Oh,
the
that's
Lions
us.
Club?
We do all. We collect eyeglasses. We recycle them, and we send them to where the need is there.
So for a lot of us, I mean, it's a seemingly small thing, but we always look in a drawer and say, I have these 3 old pair of glasses, or people don't wear them anymore, or my eyes have changed. Can we just bring them over to the local Lions Club and drop them off?
Well, we have places where you can bring them. One place is in front of the Village Hall at Rockville Centre, and you can take your glasses and put them right in that box. It looks like a beautiful old mailbox, and we collect them from there. We have them at the library and at the recreation center, and you can drop your glasses there, and we will gladly pick them up.
And I know you're Rockville Centre Lions Group, but is this all Lions Group? Is the eyes something special about that they do things for eyesight, or is that just yours?
Very special because, as I said, Helen Keller started this with us. We were the Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness. And since then, we have eye banks and we have seeing eye dogs that we're able to help people with in those that need seeing eye dogs.
That's really wonderful. I praise you for that, and thank you on behalf of all our listeners who
we do appreciate
can't
that.
be here, because I'm sure they're taking the same view. Now, I always thought of the Lions Club as a business group, but you're really defined as a service organization. So can you explain what that means to our audience?
We are an international service organization.
Oh, international service organization.
International.
Wow. I'm more impressed now. Let me straighten my tie. Zach,
Well,
fix
you
your
should
shirt.
be.
Okay.
No, that is, of course, very impressive. But tell us about that. How do you service?
We're a service organization internationally. We have 1.4 million lions in over 200 countries. And the Rockville Centre Club is just one of over 47,000 clubs around the globe.
Wow. Now, like what services do you do? I mean, that's a numbers answer, but what services do you do for the people?
We help those in need. We have a donor request that people can go on our website, and if they have a need in our community, we service people in our community. So if there's a special need, they can put in a request for help and for a grant. We have a grant that they can go online and be able to apply for a grant, and then we bring that to the board and then to the general membership. And, if we can help, we help.
I think a lot of people are, like myself, ignorant about that. So could you give us a typical need that you might get a request for a grant for?
A typical need could be for a wheelchair for a child. A typical need could be for assistance in being able to fund a project that somebody in the community is doing and really needs to have funding.
That's great.
Maybe somebody passes away and we help with that foundation. Local, we work with everybody in the community.
Because sometimes your organization does wonderful things, as many do, but sometimes people just are unaware, and it's so good that through the radio people can hear about this and realize that you're right there in Rockville Centre, so if they need some help, Lions Club is there and willing to help out.
And the process is there.
In the process.
Yep. Definitely. And you were listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Zac Turkel, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Rockville Centre Lions Club with President Joan Hope MacNaughton and member Wendy Abrams. And we talked about sight and how important it is with the Lions Club, but you also tackle epidemics such as diabetes. That is the leading cause of vision loss around the world, unfortunately. What is the Lions Club doing to preempt a person from losing their vision?
Well, basically, we provide diabetes screenings, and we have health education and assistance to those afflicted with the disease. But we're also devoted to other causes such as feeding the hungry and helping our environment and addressing the problems of youth.
Okay.
We should warn you, Zach is always hungry. So it's very likely he's going to pop up at your next meeting. You made an affirmative statement. We feed the hungry. That's all you said. You didn't make qualifying.
I wouldn't really be in that category. I guess I'm well fed. I wouldn't.
That's okay. You're going to still sneak in. So I'm just warning you, ladies. If you see him at the door, it's very likely he's going to pop up. Now, when people donate, I'm just fascinated with this because, of course, we've seen it for years, and I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. When they donate a pair of glasses that either the prescription has been something they used years ago, or maybe the glasses are out of style, what do you actually do with them? What's the process that you go through with those?
They bring them to, they're brought to a collection center, and the lenses are, of course, removed, and we are able to replace lenses and send them to the proper places all over the world, not just here.
Oh, is it just the frames that's useful, or is it the actual prescription? In other words, do they find that someone else can use that and can be generic
That's
in
difficult.
some places?
Normally, it's just they
It's
take
the
lenses out, and they would make the lens according to the strength that would be needed for the person.
For the particular person. I actually thought it was the other way around. I thought the lens was more valuable than the frame itself, but if we go in stores, we know the frames are quite expensive.
But if we can use those lenses, they use them.
All
But,
the better.
you know, it's kind of hard to identify sometimes
right.
what the actual strength has to be for a pair of glasses.
And going back to Mr. B's playground, I want to talk a little bit more about it. What are some of the activities that could be done on this playground? You said it's for everybody, all inclusions, people with disabilities and with not. What could be done at the playground?
Well, you know, there are always special needs for children with disabilities. They can't play on regular equipment that's at a playground.
Right.
So we've identified those pieces of equipment that we need, and that's why we're calling it an inclusive playground, because this will be something where they'll be able to partake of being on a swing or being on a special monkey bar, or being able to you know, enjoy going through a barrel that they can. It actually is created just for them.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing, and at the same time, they're going to have the ability to be able to play with their friends and their siblings.
I just want to add something there that if you think of a child that maybe has balance issues or something like that, and they get on a regular swing, they could fall backwards. So in a special needs playground, it would have backs on it, or the slides may have railings on the side or higher up so that they couldn't fall off. It just makes it a little safer for children with special needs.
That's a great point, and it's something so small or seemingly small to the rest of us. But if you need it, it's like when you're walking up the stairs, the railing. Sometimes you've got something in your arm, and my grandson said to me, "Be careful, Grandpa, because I'm carrying him down." He figures he's at risk too. If I slip, he goes too. So it can be very simple, but it does make it possible for people with disabilities. Now, how is that coming along, the playground?
I'm going to let Joan respond to that.
Okay.
She's probably more aware of that.
The playground is coming along great. We've raised over half the money. We need $1.5 million, and we've already raised over $500,000 for this playground, and it's just coming along really well due to the fact that we're doing a lot of fundraisers that are personally involved with all of us, like with Wendy when we did the special Laughing with the Lions, where her wonderful son Buddy was our mascot, and he got up on that stage and he spoke and he said, "Build the playground." And that was the key to our success that night, because just from what he's gone through, he was just fantastic, and we were able to raise all this money. We collect every event we do. All this money goes together. We just presented another check for $49,000 last Monday to the Village Board of Rockville Centre, and we just keep collecting money.
That's a great business. I like that.
And keep going and going until we reach our goal, and we're able to break ground and actually have a wonderful playground and be able to, what we call handicapped accessible.
If there's some organizations in Rockville Centre, meaning business or just people with excess money, I don't know what to do with my money. What am I going to do with it? And of course, we're saying laughingly, but how can they help out to sponsor this? Because it's a great program to help kids. We all love kids. We all want to help that child with a disability. Is it put money to a golf outing, a dinner, a dance, or how can they help you?
No, the money goes into the Rockville Centre Conservancy. We have a special account there, and we do have very wonderful philanthropic, community-minded businessmen who have donated substantial money to our playground. And they donate, and it goes into a fund that's strictly earmarked for the playground. It's not for anything else. It's for the playground. Our individual events, of course, go to bring money to this event.
And that's wonderful. I mean, that the businesses can do that. And if someone is hearing this in Rockville Centre, they may not know about it, because until talking to you today, I didn't know about the things you're doing. So if a business, a law firm, an accounting firm, or, a commercial business wants to do something, a restaurant, this is a great cause. They can get in touch. How do they get in touch with your organization?
They would go through, they can inquire at the Village Hall of Rockville Centre. They can go on the Lions Club, Rockville Centre Lions Club website, and we're more than happy to supply them with the information that they need and tell them exactly where they can send their tax-deductible donation to and feel a part of what we're doing, which is building this playground.
And if they're a business in Rockville Centre, I think certainly, one, you feel great. You're doing something for your community. It's good advertising. Let's be honest. Every business wants to have something they can put out there. And if you can participate with the Rockville Centre Lions Club, you're helping kids with a disability. What could be better? You're going to feel great, and there's going to be a bigger purpose to what you're doing than just, sending the bill, getting the check, sending the bill, getting the check. At this point in the show, we're going to take a brief break. My name is Bill Horan. I'm here with Zac Turkel, and today we're talking about the Rockville Centre Lions Club with President Joan Hope MacNaughton and member Wendy Abrams. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. Growing up in Oklahoma, I had big dreams of becoming a successful country music singer. But I also knew the odds were against me and that I needed an education to fall back on. Studying never got in the way of my dreams. In fact, school gave me lots of opportunities I wouldn't have had otherwise with my career. Please stay in school and try your best. You never know where a good education might take you. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
My Hometown is made possible by Herald Community Newspapers. For more local news, visit liherald.com. Got a story to tell? Call 516-569-4000.
And now we return to My Hometown.
And thanks for being with us today on My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Bill Horan, and I'm here with Zac Turkel. And today we're talking about the Rockville Centre Lions Club with their president, Joan Hope MacNaughton, and member Wendy Abrams. Zac, you had a question?
I do. We talked about it a little bit earlier on the show, but I want to get more detail on it. You have a LEO program for young kids. Can you tell us more about that and what it entails?
The LEO program is one of our wonderful, wonderful organizations for young people to get involved with providing and help to everyone in our community. They're in the school. And we have a absolutely fantastically active LEO club at the Southside High School right now, and they help us with all of our different fundraisers that we do. They're just very involved with doing what we're doing, which is our mission, which is to help people.
Okay. Wow.
Now, I know you mentioned something before, and I think it's a great title for something, but Laughing with the Lions, what is that?
Laughing with the Lions was this wonderful comedy night that we put together at Malloy College. And it was a night where we brought in comedians who actually donated all of their time. And we had 4 wonderful comedians there. We had an MC who has his own radio station, rock and roll radio station, actually. And he came in and he was the MC for us. A lot of the local politicians got involved, and they came there, and they were very happy to be there and support
that in
our
itself
cause.
lends you to a lot of jokes. That when you say local politicians, could people get up there and laugh at them for a while and have a little fun? But that opens the door to. I'm not going to go there, but
can we do some jokes on our station manager?
We could. I'm not going there either, Zac. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I would.
Oh my goodness,
I get fired. and how was the event? Because based on the article in the Herald, it seemed like a successful event.
Not only was it successful, it was successful in many ways. It was successful because it brought in new people, thank goodness, through Wendy, who were able to come into us from the schools that we've never had as part of the Lions Club before. They really didn't know what the Lions Club was. I could tell you a funny story, actually, if you want to hear it.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Does this count for Laughing with the Lions?
It does.
It
does. It's all part of Laughing with the Lions. And what it was is that we're at this event, and we had this great, it was a sold-out event, by the way, and we could only fit a certain amount of people. If we could have fit another 100 people in there, we could have even made more money, but we were limited because of the theater we were in at Malloy College, and we weren't able to fit more than a certain amount, but we sold it out.
Great problem. Wow.
Everybody had fun. We had food. We had, it was just a great event.
Time.
It was all good spirited. It was one of those events where everybody left laughing. It was Laughing with the Lions.
And it worked.
And they came in. They were happy. And they left laughing. So that was most important. But here's the funny story. I think this is kind of amusing. I had a couple of young women, mothers from the school where Wendy is at the Hewitt School.
No, at Wilson.
Are you at Wilson? Okay, Wilson. And one woman came over to me. She was, I guess, in her 30s. And she said to me, I can't believe it. And I said to her, what do you mean? She said, I thought the Lions Club was all old men that sit around and smoke cigars. And she said, and all of a sudden they said, this is Joan MacNaughton, the Lions Club president. And she said, I said, a woman? And she's not an old man? So she said, now I know. I never knew what the Lions Club really was until this event. So not only did it bring in money for our purpose, which was to raise money for the playground, but it brought in goodwill. It brought in people being educated on what the Lions Club really was, and it was just terrific.
I'm just thinking, is that, what do they call it, a reverse compliment? That they look at you and go, hey, you're not an old man. Wow, that's a great honor. That really, instead of saying you look lovely or thank you for putting this on.
Right.
Now, Zach, I want to ask Wendy a question because you're part of the Dime Bank.
Yes.
And some organizations, and banks especially, I don't think we give them enough credit. I know they're very often very willing to take part in community events, donate something, even if it's a few golf balls, to prizes, maybe a car. I don't know how extensive it goes, but that they allow you time off to, I guess, some time to do this, and I'm sure you put in a lot of your own time. Can you talk about that a little bit?
You know, I've worked in the financial industry for a very long time. I've been with Dime for 8 years. And I have to say, I'm so proud to be part of a bank like this and an organization like this because they make it a tremendous focus to volunteer in the community and get involved in the community. So, you know, we have all our employees, I think there are about 400 employees, that we request that they get involved in whatever area that the branches are in. We're very involved in Brooklyn, and it's nice. As a matter of fact, the Dime donated quite a bit of money to CP Nassau when my son was going to that school.
Now, CP Nassau, for our audience, what does CP mean?
It's cerebral palsy in Nassau County. And they made a tremendous donation after they had a golf outing to raise some money because my son had been diagnosed with brain cancer and he was going to that school for the physical and occupational therapies that they offered. But the bank donated the money and it made such a difference to the school, and it was so impressive that because I was a part of this bank that's the reason that they did it, and it was a very nice thing.
Well, we thank you personally, Wendy. We also want our people to know that even if you're just passing the bank by, you may want to go in and say, hey, I heard this on the radio. Thank you for what you're doing for these organizations. They're making the community better, and we don't realize it's kind of it's almost like when people whisper. You don't see what's going on, you don't hear it, but it's work that's done. They don't make a big fuss about it, but without them, a lot of events in the community that go, a lot of the people who are helped, assisted, simply would not be happening. And I'm sure they're giving some employees either time to do this or additional time, and that's also nice of all the organizations, and especially the Dime, because you're with the Dime.
Mm-hmm. And that's right. I want to let our listeners know again that you were listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Zac Turkel, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Rockville Centre Lions Club with President Joan Hope MacNaughton and member Wendy Abrams. And Wendy, this question is geared towards you because you talked about your son a little earlier on in the show. How did your son Buddy get involved with this event, Laughing with the Lions, and how did that happen?
Buddy is a 7-year-old boy that has an unbelievably dynamic personality, and everybody in town knows him, and Pat Quinn, who works for CP Nassau, and is in the Lions Club, was the person who thought it would be a good idea to have Buddy be the mascot of the event. And he was 6 at the time, but he got up on the stage and he talked to the crowd of 200 some odd people. It was unbelievable.
Wow, that is amazing. And reading the article, it must have been awesome when Buddy addressed the crowd and then it all went wild. How did you feel personally when that happened?
I think I'm always so proud of Buddy. I look at a boy who, was diagnosed at 1 and received chemo for 5 years, and he is so bright and so funny and so dynamic that he's a true miracle to everybody that knows him.
That can always bring a group together, like you said. When he goes out there and just says something, he gets to laugh for the people, and probably better than all the comedians, and gets things going. So Hats off to Buddy. Now, I had a question. I think I asked you before the show. We hear a lot about these other groups in towns, and I don't know, do you guys work together, in quote? The Lions, Elks, Kiwanis, I don't know what the others might be. Or are you enemies? Do you hit them with snowballs when they pass by, or let the air out of their tires? Or what goes on? You're making odd faces, so I think there's a little bit of that going on.
Well, we don't have an Elks Club in Rockville Centre.
You don't?
And we don't have a Kiwanis Club in Rockville Centre.
Does that mean you went out and eliminated them somehow? Because you had that mischievous look on your face.
Well, we took over.
You took over.
You took over.
She'll just leave it. She's the president. She says they took over. That's it. So.
And the interesting part is we have a very close relationship with the Rockville Centre Chamber of Commerce, and we work with them on multiple events together. So we have a very close relationship with them because that's the only other really big organization in Rockville Centre.
But that is a great one. And, of course, they all do wonderful work today. The Lions are the best because you're here and you're Lions in Rockville Centre. But obviously we want to thank them. But I could just picture whether you sit there with snowballs or if it's a combined effort because you're all doing good work.
We want everybody to be together and we want to work together and we want to do the best possible to help everybody that we can help.
But the Lions are the best.
The Lions are the best.
I knew it. Okay.
Absolutely.
We just wanted you to say that, Joan. And for people that are listening and who want to volunteer for the events for the or the club, how could they get in contact with you?
They can go to our website and they can put in a request and we will gladly contact them and reach out to them and we will bring them in the fold. We'd love to have them come in and be a member. Our membership is very reasonable. It's only $75 a year.
Okay.
We have meetings once a month. And we work on a lot of different projects, feeding the hungry and helping those, in shelters that need, clothing. We do a lot of wonderful things. We work with the Challenger baseball team, which is also one of our pet projects, and we support the Challengers.
All right.
Now, excuse me, you mentioned that these projects that you do and volunteers are welcome. First of all, $75 a month. I thought you were going to say a week.
No, a year.
A year. I mean, that's why I'm out of sync because even some networking groups are far more than that. So that's really a bargain to go with. And what are some of the volunteer positions people could help you with that we might not feel that we have skills, but that you could use or that members of the community could add?
We always need volunteers to help us at every event. We need volunteers when we have the Salvation Army and we work with the Salvation Army and we give money. We need people to stand with them. We need people to help at the soup kitchen that we work with in Hempstead and be able to donate their time, to serve and to also donate clothing. We need people when we do food drives, when we do anything to do with any event we have, we need volunteers.
And if you're out there listening, you want to, and I think very often it's the volunteers who feel even better about what they're doing. It does more for them or equally as much as the group they're volunteering for. So it's an equal balance to both personalities. Wendy Abrams, Joan MacNaughton, thanks so much for being with us today. They're here from the Lions Club and you've heard what they're doing. Give them a call, take part in it, and volunteer a little time to help out your community. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan, along with Zac Turkel, and we've been talking today to the Rockville Centre Lions Club with their president, Joan Hope MacNaughton, and Wendy Abrams. Thanks for listening to My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.